Hello, in this creative critical reflection, I'll be discussing my opening title sequence for a coming-of-age teen drama film in an AS level media studies. The sequence was produced by me and two of my classmates, Bella and Isaac, where we wanted to capture the journey that takes place in a joyful tropical island of Phuket. The production style is warm, friendly, and unique, and has tropical hints that embodies tropical atmosphere during Thailand's sunny and rainy season. We wanted to capture and represent teenage experience of two best friends living on the island, separating due to Padme's sudden departure to another country for a university study. By following Myla's emotional struggle with losing Padme due to long distance, we wanted to give our audience the ability to see that sometimes in life we end up growing up and separating to close friends and leaving happy memories behind. Our opening title sequence fits into the coming-of-age genre as it focuses on the protagonist's emotional journey of losing a friend due to long distance, while going through phases of nostalgia and sadness. After watching of numerous coming-of-age movies such as Suicide Virgins, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, and The Edge of 17th, we were inspired to create a similar piece that conveys similar teenage experiences as well as overall coming-of-age aesthetic. Steve Neal's genre claims that the genre of the films are instances of repetition and differences. Repetition is needed to grasp certain audience interests based on the genre. Differences are, however, required to avoid same cliches all the time. This ultimately links to the genre I've used in the production of our opening title sequence, which is coming of age. Coming of age genre is typically associated with teenage growing up experiences as well as facing challenges and gaining independence, growing up, and discovering yourself and the people that surround you. With the aim of adding a slight feminine touch to our sequence, we selected an elegant cursive font style used for both credit and production logo Shoreline Pictures. The softness and elegance of our title aligns with the coming-of-age genre. During the pre-production process, our team took several days browsing and searching for a song that would perfectly blend with the coming-of-age aesthetic. It took days to settle on the perfect song titled Champagne Coast by Blood Orange. Not only does the song involve elements of happy melodies, but it also contains slight melancholical tune at the end of it, which perfectly aligns with the chronological order of our scenes. After the goodbye scene at the airport, we implemented an establishing shot of Bella's house as if to transition the audience to the new location, which is then moved to a close-up shot of Myla's phone where she reveals a WhatsApp text from Padme after she had successfully landed. Although we see Myla begin to type a reply to Padme's text, she ultimately decides against sending it, allowing the moment to hang unresolved. This deliberate choice invites the audience to form their own interpretations and theories about why she hesitates to respond. This can be relatable to some of the teenagers since texting is a common form of nowadays communication. We involved two specific shots that would allow the audience to see Myla's point of view during her flashback memories with Padme. First shot being the airport shot of Myla holding the digital camera, filming Padme before she boards her plane, and the second shot being the tracking shot of Myla holding the digital camera while following her friend, which embraces the audience in the scene. Symbolism and representation played a key role in our production, and we did it through the mise-en-scene. For example, the wardrobe of the protagonist becomes darker after her friend Padme leaves in order to symbolize her sadness, linking to the feeling of loneliness and nostalgia when the main character, Myla, is sitting alone at the beach before and after the flashback scenes. Color symbolism was portrayed through warm and bright colors during the flashback scenes in order to illustrate happiness and joy of the characters, and the cold and dark tones for the present moment scenes. Being a group of international school students living in Thailand, we believe it's important to highlight the downsides of growing up in an international community, since eventually some of our friends end up moving to different parts of the world. By showing a relatable experience of a friend moving abroad, we are engaging a teenage target audience. We would distribute our media product through posting teasers from our sequence on social media platforms such as Instagram and TikTok, since they are mostly used by and favored by our teenage audience. These small teasers like ours will allow us to reach a larger audience in a shorter period of time since it's easier to access. After posting these clips, we would release the whole thing, as many creative individuals use social media to showcase their work. Not only is social media free, but it also allows our audience to engage with our work easier through commenting, reposting, and sharing. According to the uses and gratification theory, audience consume media for 4 main reasons: surveillance, personal relationships, personal identity, and diversion. We wanted to focus on personal relationships and diversion, which was done by showing our relatable experience by showcasing the most common activities that Thailand's international students do after school or in their free time, such as hanging out at the beach and enjoying Thailand's amazing natural beauty. Throughout the entire production process, I've gained knowledge in multiple aspects of the production stages. During the pre-production stage, I've learned how to establish a risk assessment list as well as the film treatment sheet in order to identify any areas of the production where our team could possibly face difficulties and issues with factors such as bad weather, crowded locations, and other external factors that we can't really control. Further on, I apprehended the ability to give my honest opinion and criticism to my and my teammates' work throughout the SWOT analysis, in order to ensure that the final product will turn out the way we all intended to be, by fixing the things on the weakness and the threats, but also further improving our strengths and opportunities. Narrative development and storyline creation was another skill that needed to be developed before the production process began, since we needed to build basic foundation for our opening title sequence storyline board. This leads to the next skill that I was able to refine, in this case being communication skills. Although our group is initially friendly and we have no problems with working with each other, there were still parts where we had to speak out and give our honest opinion in order to achieve the result we all want, which is good quality opening title sequence. By being able to compromise and listen to each other, our group recognized that good communication is a key to achieving high quality media product. I was able to develop my filming and directing skills during day 1 of the shooting, where me and Isaac had both analyzed the best shot angles as well as managed the lighting and locations of the props. Quality control was a skill we've learned when filming, since footage day 1 wasn't up to our standards and had to be refilmed on the next day. Although I didn't make to the final cut, I was able to gain new skills from just being on set and contributing to the production, even though that wasn't part of my responsibility since I am the head of the editing department. When entering the post-production stage, I was able to expand my editing skills such as color grading, scene trimming, audio engineering, speed ramping, and retouching when using CapCut as my software tool. Another skill I've had to develop throughout the entire production process was the ability to document every action and every decision that me and my groupmate took by tracking our progress on Weebly website, by categorizing our activities into pre-production, production, and post-production stages, as well as the search and development stage that we conducted before beginning the documentation progress. Software, hardware, and online played a huge part of forming the final desired product. Before entering the production stage, I did a deep dive into media platforms such as TikTok, Letterboxd, and Netflix, where I found a variety of coming-of-age films which served me as an inspiration, which allowed me and my group to achieve the soft teenage core genre and aesthetic girlish atmosphere during the post-production stage. Spotify suggested songs had unexpectedly suggested me a song called Champagne Coast by Blood Orange, which ended up becoming the song used for our opening title sequence. The song was able to fully illustrate the themes of nostalgia, sadness, which was exactly what I was looking for. Eventually, I used an y2mate.nu to convert the song from YouTube video into an MP3 audio file. In the course of the production stage itself, our production team used Isaac's Canon EOS R10 camera to film the present scene, and Samsung WB35F NFC digital camera to capture flashback memories of the two main characters. During the scenes of the rooftop where Mila is reading a text from Padme, as well as the beach scenes of Mila sitting on the swing, glancing over a picture of her and Padme, we used Mila's iPhone 14, which was used as a prop to give audience context and Mila's point of view. After the entire filming process was over, I moved on to my direct responsibility, which is editing. During the post-production stage, I made use of my personal MacBook Air 13 2022 as a hardware tool suited for editing. I used CapCut as my software editing tool for the entire editing process due to my previous experience with that platform and its straightforward editing settings. After rearranging all of the shots into a chronological order, I cut and trimmed the scenes, leaving only the best fitting shots. Following that, I began color grading the visual scenes with cold tones in order to symbolize the sad atmosphere, and used warm tones for flashback scenes to portray joy and happiness of those memories with Padme. Later on, I've implemented 9 credit titles, including roles and logos of our production, which were all designed by Bella by using Canva on her iPad 13.5 Pro. These credits were animated through fade in and fade out for a smoother transition. Last step involved me inserting the MP3 file of our song and level balancing the audio of the right level and beats in order to allow the audience to focus on some of the diegetic sounds, such as wave sounds, that were also used from the CapCut's audio settings, as well as increasing the original audio from the clip of the main characters talking and laughing at the beach in order to create a nostalgic effect. In the overall, technology played a huge role in producing our professional-looking opening title sequence, allowing us to create a media product that can now be further developed into a full-scale coming-of-age film.